Grounded, and Witt is going to come to the plate, and out at home plate.
Listen, I love the fact that the Royals called up Bobby Witt Jr., and he is one of my favorite prospects of all time. And as a baseball fan, again, I love it. But as a Cleveland fan, I just want to say, he's really annoying. But anyways, what's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, we talk baseball every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And if you're going to any games anytime soon, remember to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. You just saw Mike Trout go 450 feet off a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Wander Franco was shown off the leather yesterday, and Jazz Chisholm, who in my opinion is the best player on the Marlins, got benched yesterday. We'll talk about why it was a planned benching and also why he was not happy about it. Real quick, before we get into the White Sox versus Tigers recap, I want to talk about Lucas Giolito and AJ Pollock. Pollock left yesterday's game with a hamstring injury. He says it's not going to be a big deal and that he should be back in the lineup fairly soon. Lucas Giolito, on the other hand, is going to be missing his next few starts with an abdominal injury, which really sucks. I mean, even this picture of Lucas Giolito being a maniac on the mound, and then this one right here of him holding a kitten. The duality of man is real, but I'm really going to miss Lucas because he is a stud. Now, let's talk about the White Sox versus the Tigers. Lou Bob and Abreu got on for Eloy, who immediately said, "Don't mind if I do," and brings them both home. Dylan Cease, who actually, I just want to say this right now, I have never heard Dylan Cease say words, but he let his stuff do the talking yesterday. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, and this man is going to be a dark horse Cy Young candidate for the rest of the year. Yasmani pimped one and then drops the bat in the 6th inning right before the bad man Akil Baddoo shows off the improved defense. He's already made 2 web gems out there in center field, and Eloy was a great sport about it. Andrew Vaughn, he halts the momentum shift, and the White Sox secure a 5-2 lead for the bullpen. And good for Aaron Bummer, he strikes out 3 in his first save since coming back from injury, so that really warmed my heart right there. Now, speaking of injuries, Brian Hayes was back in the lineup, so it looks like that wrist is a-okay, but Arenado did not care. Please have an MVP year. He had a double in the first to tie it, and then a single in the third to tie it again. Paul DeJong, he doesn't like tie games either. He drives one the other way, and he is looking to prove all of the haters wrong. After 2 subpar offensive seasons, he is still great with the glove, and his arm is pretty solid as well, but in the batter's box, he has been struggling. Corey Dickerson grabs his first RBI as a member of the Cardinals, and Arenado, he gets some help from the baseball gods as the ball pops out of Cole Tucker's glove over in right field. Arenado already has 4 extra base hits in his first 2 games. Paul Goldschmidt has been on base 7 times already. We are looking at 2 future Hall of Famers in the making. Now let's talk about the only walk-off from yesterday. Kansas City versus the Guardians. Plesac and Brad Keller were as efficient as it gets. It went to the 6th inning. The score was knotted up at 0, and they pretty much got the first 6 innings done in 1 hour. We haven't seen a game under 2 hours since 2018, so we were on pace, but unfortunately, a few bullpen changes got in the way. And again, I just want to mention, I love Bobby Witt Jr., one of my favorite prospects of all time. I love him for baseball, but as a Cleveland fan, again, he's going to be really annoying as he saves the game with a sick play, and then Mondesi takes advantage of the runner on second rule in extras and punches one up the middle for the walk-off victory. Shout out to another rookie, not named Bobby Witt Jr. Steven Kwan is now 3 for 5. He has 3 walks in 2 games, and he's playing some sick defense out there in the outfield. This kid is very underrated. If you need some sneaky pop and maybe a few stolen bases, look for Steven Kwan. We know that the Jays are practically going to beat everyone into submission this year with their offense, and even though Vladimir Guerrero Jr. does not have a home run yet, he has still been productive with a few RBI singles to start the year. Marcus Semien returns to Toronto, and he kickstarts a 3-run third in which Seager and Lowe combine to grab a few, and they get the lead back from Kevin Gausman. Bo Bichette, though, good lord, nearly 430 feet off this no-doubter. He pimped it. I love his swing. It might be my favorite right-handed swing of all time, up there with A-Rod and other guys. That one ties it up, and then Santiago Espinal shows off the weight gain. Then it's coming in huge because he is driving balls to the gap with a little bit more ease this year. He steals the lead back, and the bullpen only allowed 1 hit the last 4 innings. Moving over to a few other AL East teams, the Yankees versus the Red Sox. Alex Verdugo is off to a sizzling start both in the batter's box and in the field. He's no Mookie Betts, but this kid can straight up ball. That was off Luis Severino, who was pumping 98 to 100 all day long. Good for him as he was returning from injury. Aaron Judge hits one deep. He hits one far, and it is robbed by Hernandez in center field. Anthony Rizzo has his second two-run home run already of the season. He ties it up in the fourth. They are not missing Luke Voit at all thus far. Pivetta tries to get through 6 innings, but Stanton has other plans in mind. He now has a home run in 6 consecutive games versus the Red Sox, passing Mickey Mantle. Was Mickey Mantle good? I can't remember. The Mets faced off against the Nationals, and look at this catch from Victor Robles. Goodness gracious. I read a stat that Earth is covered by 80% water, and then the other 20% is covered by Victor Robles. Pete Alonso hits one to the moon for his very first Grand Slam of his career, and I don't know if you can call this a bat flip or a bat spin. Either way, he shuts up the Nationals crowd, and Bassett impresses in his first New York start, tossing 6 shutout with 8 strikeouts, only 3 hits allowed. I want to say, even though I love Juan Soto, I love their uniforms and Nelson Cruz, this Nationals team is kind of depressing. The Angels faced off against the Astros, another shutout I want to talk about. Verlander versus Thor. This was the battle of 2 superstars who have not really pitched in the last 2 years. McCormick, he robs Mike Trout of a home run, but remember, Trout is going to get his revenge, so don't you go anywhere. Walsh rips a 415-foot no-doubter, and that was all that they could muster off of Verlander. And the same goes for Thor. He goes through 5 1/3 without a single earned run. Only 1 strikeout, though. I feel like his strikeouts are going to increase as the season progresses. Aaron Loop and Ryan Tepera, they come in for a few scoreless relief innings, and then Mike Trout sends one to space. That was the hardest pitch that Mike Trout has ever homered on. And the reason why I say he hit one to space is because the Astros just announced their new Space City City Connect uniforms, and I actually kind of like them. Iggy comes in for a 1-2-3 ninth inning for his first save, and then the final shutout from yesterday, the Cubs, they faced off against the Brewers. Brandon Woodruff had his worst start of his career, in my opinion. He allowed 7 earned runs on 3 walks. The third run came on a sac fly from Seiya Suzuki, so that was his first career RBI. He grabs another in the bottom of the third. He ends up with a 3 RBI game after Ian Happ singles in Ortega. Justin Steele was electric yesterday, 5 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts. He could have been terrible, and the Cubs still would have won. It was 9-0 after the 6th inning, where things got a little bit spicy. Contreras and Happ were both hit by a pitch in this game, and then McCutchen, he was hit and not happy about it because he said he grew up in an era where if you were going to get hit, it was going to be on the first pitch, and if they missed, you kind of just move on. He was hit, I think, on the 2nd or 3rd pitch of the at-bat, and he just didn't like that because he can't prepare to get hit, and it leads to injuries. The Rays and the Orioles. Baltimore has been putting up a fight against Tampa Bay. Wander Franco's defense might be even more impressive than his offensive tools. He had a sick play in the 2nd inning. Francisco Mejia was the hero in the game before, and he starts off the scoring in this one. Tampa Bay ends up with 3 in the 2nd. Ryan Mountcastle, though, I want to talk about him real quick for the Baltimore Orioles. Such a cool last name, by the way, Mountcastle. He continues his power surge after hitting 33 dingers last year, and Mejia apparently is sick of hearing that he's a bust. He ropes a 2-run shot in the 3rd, and that was pretty much it for the scoring. Mateo added an RBI double in the 9th, so if you need a sneaky fantasy option, Steven Kwan and Jorge Mateo, they're going to be guys that can get you stolen bases and sometimes bop one for a home run. But I do want to mention Mateo strikes out a lot, so take that into account. The Mariners versus the Twins, this game was ultra exciting. Luis Arias shows off the elite bat skills. He belts one on his birthday. That was nice of Logan Gilbert to give him a gift, but Logan was done being nice after that. He shreds up the Twins lineup for 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, only allowing 3 base hits. Up next, maybe the most talented human in baseball, not named Trout, Ohtani, Tatis, Ronald Acuna Jr. There are a lot of talented players, but Byron Buxton hit a 101 fastball at his face to the upper deck. That was super impressive, and speaking of impressive, look at J-Rod getting his first hit in the clutch, and then Adam Frazier drives him home. The Frenchman, Ty France, reclaims the lead for Diego Castillo, who strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Mariners are looking very, very good to start the season. For this game, Jazz Chisholm was going off on Twitter about getting benched, and I feel like he had a right to say some things because Jazz Chisholm is young, and the only way that he's going to learn to hit against lefties is if he's left in versus guys like Carlos Rodon and not benched. But I guess Don Mattingly had this planned. But I just want to mention AJ Hinch left in Akil Baddoo versus a lefty when his team was losing by 3. So again, experience is the best teacher. Either way, Pablo Lopez and Carlos Rodon were both on top of their games. They only allowed 1 earned run each through 5 innings. Rodon was out of his mind, striking out 12 hitters in 5 innings. Jesus Sanchez, I just want to mention he's a young lefty that came in clutch Lefty, might I add. So he gives the Marlins a lead, and then Miggy Rose shows off the defense to end the game, and the Marlins steal a W in San Francisco. The Phillies versus the A's. Bryce Harper gets his MVP award right before the game, and he is quickly becoming one of the more beloved players in baseball instead of the most hated, I think. What do you guys make of Bryce Harper going into 2022? Do you feel like he has more haters or lovers? Castellanos rips a 2-run bomb. I love his swing as well. Hoskins and Gene Segura go back-to-back, and Bryce Harper is loving it in the dugout. Kyle Gibson, Gibby as I like to call him, he tears apart the paltry A's lineup, tossing 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. We have some more pregame festivities. This one is the Braves versus the Reds, and the Braves unveiled their massive ring. I think I read a stat where they have plus 100 diamonds on this thing. Anyways, the Braves get all of their scoring done early. 2 runs in the first was all that Kyle Wright needed, because when Wright is right, he's right. The former 5th overall pick was looking for his first career W, and he got it after a stellar start. 6 strikeouts and 6 shutout innings, only allowed 3 base runners. Good for him. Will Smith, he tried to ruin that though, but finally ends the game, and the Braves escape with a 2-1 victory. Another close game, the Rockies versus the Dodgers. Recently extended Ryan McMahon. Hold on, my friend Bryson's up right now. Sorry, I got distracted. Back to the script. Ryan McMahon scores Chris Bryant to take the early lead, but it disappears in the 3rd after Austin Barnes goes yard. But that was all that the Dodgers were able to muster off of German Marquez, who got some help from Connor Joe in the 6th en route to pitching 7 innings with 5 strikeouts and a masterclass in Coors Field. Colomé botches it. He allows Betts to bring home Gavin Lux, who I feel like Gavin Lux is on base every other at bat. It seems like this happened in the 8th, and the score was knotted up at 2 apiece. But then Connor Joe goes boom, 445 feet, a placata from Joe. He gives Daniel Bard the lead back, where he strikes out 3 in a row to secure the victory. And then last but not least, the Padres versus the Diamondbacks. Dark horse MVP candidate, in my opinion. Manny Machado drives home Matt Beattie in the 3rd, and Cronenworth, this single brings home Manny Machado to grab the lead. David Peralta muscles one up off of Musgrove in the 6th, went the other way for his first home run of 2022. Now fast forward to the 8th inning, Eric Hosmer, just like Paul DeYoung, is trying to show his fans that he is worth the contract and he does not want to be traded. Zola and Azokar added a few more to make it a 5-2 ball game, and then Taylor Rogers, who was recently acquired from the Twins, he notches his 2nd save already, and I just want to say the Twins desperately are missing him. Now to end today's video, I'm going to go ahead and bring back this day in MLB history. Back in 1984, Griffey hit his first home run, Griffey Jr. I should mention, at just 19 years old, and then we're also going to roll the rest of the web gems. So thank you all so much for watching. Remember to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off, and stay safe.
And there's a ball that hit Plesac, and it's going to be caught by Rosario. Now the attention is on Plesac.
Left side, pass Farmer. Wave on at 3rd for Olsen. The throw from Aquino in left. The tag. He's out! Popping it up. That is caught by Turner.
Beautiful play. There's one on to 1st. Not in time.
There's a ball in a left field, and Quan with a great diving catch. Got it. Oh, baby.